How panicking made me appreciate time? Hello friends, welcome to another video. If you're new here, I am Emily, otherwise known as Shamanism. You can call me anything, just don't call me late for dinner. Pleasure to have you here. I'm a musician, an entrepreneur, a vibrational healer, a gardener, and many other things. So welcome to the channel if you're new, and thank you for coming back if you're returning. In today's video, I thought we would talk about the interesting subject of how it is that panic made me appreciative of time. I don't know if you're familiar with this experience. For your sake, I hope not. However, as y'all will know, I'm pretty intimately familiar with panicking and with panic attacks and anxiety. So what had occurred to me at some point, obviously while I was not panicking, was, holy cow, this just dawned on me one day, which is why I thought, let me share this. It dawned on me one day that what if I could turn this negative into a positive, which, as I said, this thought occurred to me while I was not panicking. Because a funny thing happens, not funny, haha, again, when you're panicking. And it's this distorted sense of time. Time, and you will know this if you've been in any kind of traumatic event, and I'm not trying to stir up anything, so we won't go there. However, you will know that from being in anything traumatic, that time has a sense of suddenly moving like molasses. It just stretches out. The seconds feel like moments, moments like hours, and there's just this hyper-extended sense of time. Now, one day when I wasn't panicking, I thought, now wait a minute. Because what happened was I was having a particularly brainy day. What I mean by that is, for me, my brain was Rolodexing quite quickly. And I thought, okay, let's try this new exercise that I've got, which may sound silly to you. It was to take 5 minutes to do nothing. This is something I've mentioned that my mentor, Terry Cole Whitaker, has spoken about, and to just be. And she says, start with 5 minutes, increase that to an hour, see if you can spend a day just being. So I thought, okay, my brain's really racy. Let me practice the 5 minutes of just being. And suddenly that day, it was as if time slowed down, like that molassesy thing that happens when you're experiencing something that isn't ideal. However, suddenly this was for the positive. Think of meditation. When we're meditating, the not goal, because really the goal is to empty our minds. However, the thing that tends to happen there too is you get this expanded sense of time, or a lack of time entirely, this feeling of there is no sense of time. And that's why meditation is such a great practice for both of those reasons. So my suggestion to you today, if you're catching this video and if you're tuning into this and you happen to be seeing this, and particularly if you resonate with being racy, doing things at a quick pace, and you rarely take time to stop for yourself, understand that firstly from someone who did that most of her life up until recently, that I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that you are essentially putting on the back burner things that you likely would do better to deal with than to put them on a back burner and put them off for another day. And a lot of the time, the anxieties that we're experiencing are a result of these things which we've procrastinated and that have become so big, I've spoken about this in another video, that then they're just looming over us. So, as crazy as it sounds, having panic attacks taught me how to appreciate time. How are you asking? If I need to connect, let me help you connect the understanding of this. I've had enough panic attacks to know, for me, what happens is when you're in that, it's as if your brain is hyper-focused on the negative things you're experiencing. Now I'm inviting you to consciously cultivate a practice of not meditation, simply being, simply existing without pressures of any role whatsoever, of any time constraints. Just literally set a timer if you need to. Set a timer for 5 minutes, and literally during those 5 minutes, you're allowed to do whatever you feel like doing, as long as you're just allowing yourself to relax. That's kind of the key purpose, because if we are just sort of doing another task and not allowing our mind to switch off, then you won't find any benefit from this. Whereas if you enter into this as a form of almost conscious meditation, and you take 5 minutes outside to go sit out there and just say, sit under a tree, and you just focus on your breathing and nothing else, I promise you that after, let's say, a week, 2 weeks, whatever time it may take you, that you will become overall more calm, and that when you get those 5 minutes, those will become so precious and sacred to you. And that the time begins to expand. And what's really interesting and strange for me is that I'm finding that is now spilling over into the rest of my life. Suddenly there's not this feeling of rush all the time and having to meet deadlines. Suddenly, even though I may not literally be ahead in certain things, I feel like I'm ahead. So if you know anyone who would benefit from hearing this message, please do share it with them. Subscribe, as that really helps me out as a content creator to get these messages out there to those folks who need to hear them. And last but definitely not least, if you, my beautiful spirit soul, need any support or health coaching, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at this email address, where it would be my pleasure to serve you in whatever way I can. Have a beautiful and a blessed rest of your day or night, and I will see you, gorgeous cats, in the next video. Namaste, much love, and have a beautiful day. Stay healthy. Bye. As that really helps me out as a content creator. It dawned on me one day, and suddenly that day, it was as if time slowed down, like that molassesy thing that happens when you're experiencing something that isn't ideal. Now, wait a minute. Suddenly, this was for the positive.